All right, let's jump right in. We all know that learning the alphabet, it's like the first big boss battle in a kid's education, right? But what if I told you that the way we've always done it, pencil, paper, tracing over and over, might not actually be the best way? Today, we're going to look at some really cool new research that suggests there's a better, more physical way to do it. Yeah, I know it sounds totally backwards, doesn't it? Writing is all about hands and fingers, right? Tiny little movements? But that's the big question a new study is asking. It's challenging everything we thought we knew, making us think, hey, maybe mastering the shape of a letter doesn't start with a pencil. Maybe it starts with the whole body. And look, this isn't just some random idea someone had. It's backed by some serious science. We're talking about a French study, and not just any study. It was a pre-registered, randomized, controlled experiment. Now, that's a mouthful, but it basically means it's the gold standard. It's the best way we have to figure out what actually works, separating fact from fiction when it comes to teaching kids their letters. So here's the setup. They got 160 kindergartners, all about 5 years old. And for 6 weeks, these kids were part of a special program. The whole point was to put different letter learning methods to the test, side by side, to see which one really gave these kids the best start on their pre-reading skills. So, what did this actually look like? Well, the researchers split the kids into 3 different groups. Each group got a totally different training plan. This is where it gets really interesting. Okay, check this out. Group 1, they were the pencil and paper group. Pretty much what you'd expect, right? Writing letters on a slate, then on paper. The traditional way. Then you had Group 2, the arm training group. Pencils down for them. Their job was to trace big letters in the air just using their whole arm. And get this, sometimes they even did it blindfolded, so they had to really feel the movement. And finally, Group 3, the arm body training group. They went even bigger. They were literally walking along giant letter shapes that were drawn out on the floor. So you've got 3 totally different ways of learning. And after 6 weeks, there is one huge question. Who won? Which group actually learned the most? And let me tell you, the answer, it's probably not what you're thinking. So, just for a second, what's your bet? Who do you think came out on top? Was it the classic pencil and paper practice? The kids walking on giant letters? Or was it the group just, waving their arms around in the air? Which one do you think really made the biggest difference? All right, here are the results. And they are wild. The kids doing the traditional pencil and paper thing, they actually showed the smallest improvement. The group that walked on the letters, the arm body group, they did it a little better. But the runaway winner, the group that showed the biggest, most significant gains in their skills, was the arm training group. Let that sink in for a second. Simply tracing a letter in the air with your arm, no pencils, no paper, no special equipment, was more effective than actually writing it down. This one finding just completely turns our common wisdom about teaching the alphabet on its head. But wait, it gets even better, because the story doesn't stop there. When the researchers looked closer at the data, they found something even more important. It wasn't just that this method worked, it was who it worked for. This is a direct quote from the study, and it's huge. They found a compensatory effect against learning inequalities. Okay, I know, that sounds super academic, but what it really means is that this method, it acted like a great equalizer. It gave the biggest leg up to the kids who were falling behind. Let me break that down for you. So the kids who were already doing pretty well, yeah, they still got a lot better with the arm training. But the kids who were really struggling at the start, the ones with the lowest skills, they benefited the most. This simple technique helped them close the gap and catch up with their classmates. I mean, for any teacher out there, that's an absolute game changer. Okay, so the big question is, why? Why on earth is waving your arm around more effective than carefully writing a letter with a pencil? Well, the answer is rooted in this really cool idea about how our brains are wired to learn. It's a concept called embodied cognition. And the theory is pretty simple, really. It says that our minds don't just exist in a vacuum, completely separate from our bodies. The way we move, what we feel, what we sense, All of it plays a massive role in how we think and how we learn. So when a kid makes that big physical movement with their arm, their brain is doing more than just seeing a shape. It's locking in a motor program, a physical feeling, a map in space. It creates a memory of that letter that is so much richer, so much stronger than just the tiny hand movements of writing. You're basically building the letter's shape right into their body's memory. And you know what the best part is? This is so easy to do. Any parent, any teacher can try this right now. First, you just model it. Trace a big A or a T in the air with your own arm. Then you have the child copy that big sweeping motion. Let them feel the shape with their body first. Then you can move on to practicing it on paper. The body learns it, and then the hand refines it. So this simple idea that just by involving the body, we can make learning not only more effective, but also fairer, that's incredibly powerful. And it really leaves you wondering, right? If our bodies can help us learn something as fundamental as reading, what else are we missing out on? What other amazing things could we unlock just by getting up and moving?